concerns for Liverpool, problems evident in draw at West Ham. Premier League leaders held to 1-1 draw at West Ham. Everything looked good for Liverpool when Sadio Mane scored early against Leicester on Wednesday night. They appeared set to be going 7 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table. It is a very different picture now. Jurgen Klopp's team failed to hold on to that lead and once again surrendered the advantage despite Mane giving them the lead against West Ham on Monday Night Football. A second consecutive 1-1 draw means that City will go top if they beat Everton in midweek. Just as worrying as the results are the performances. The free-flowing football that has been a feature of their season was nowhere to be seen at the London Stadium. It was a struggle throughout. It doesn't quite feel right, Jamie Carragher told Sky Sports afterwards. Here, we look at some of the problems hampering Liverpool right now. Free kick weakness. Harry Maguire punished Liverpool in midweek and the same flaws were evident against West Ham. They were badly caught out by a training ground free kick from Michail Antonio's equalizer as Naby Keita failed to track him while others were anticipating the cross. It could have got worse for Liverpool when Declan Rice was left unmarked to head over as the visitors held a similarly high line soon after. Issa Diop then headed wide from a right-wing corner soon after the break. Liverpool looked so vulnerable from set plays. Keita still struggling. It was not just that Keita could not deal with the free kick for West Ham's goal, he endured another underwhelming evening in general. Partnering Fabinho in the center of midfield, these were the players whose arrival in the summer had sparked such optimism. Virgil van Dijk and Liverpool surrendered another lead away to West Ham. Virgil van Dijk and Liverpool surrendered another lead away to West Ham. Instead, the injured pair of Gini Wijnaldum and Jordan Henderson were missed, with Keita, in particular, struggling. He keeps losing the ball, said Carragher. There were hints of the driving runs that he was supposed to bring to this team but it's still not happening for him. Key players missing. As well as Wijnaldum and Henderson, Klopp is also without Trent Alexander-Arnold and Joe Gomez, which has forced James Milner, the third of his first-choice midfield from last season, to move to right back. It's an unfortunate situation but many will wonder whether it was avoidable. Liverpool allowed Nathaniel Clyne to leave for Bournemouth last month. Klopp has made a big mistake in letting Clyne go, said Carragher. I don't understand why Klopp did that. I know there were a couple of injuries after but you don't need to let him go, just keep him. The versatile Milner was not at his best in the right-back slot. James Milner has played there twice now and watching him play right-back you can't quite believe he played left-back so well for so long, Carragher added. He looked like someone out of position. Klopp's frustrations could be detected even in his pre-match interview and his admission afterwards that Liverpool had to change their formation numerous times in preparation for this game because of the changeable injury situation helped to explain that. We had to change 3 positions, he told Sky Sports afterwards. That's not cool. It might encourage Liverpool supporters to know that their struggle for rhythm in attack and their marking difficulties from set plays can partially be explained away by these changes. Klopp, draw was a fair result. Jurgen Klopp reflects on Liverpool's 1-1 draw away at West Ham, which sees them stretch their gap at the top of the Premier League to only 3 points. Liverpool draws a blip with a long way to go in title race, says Jamie Carragher. Liverpool will be there at the wire, even if there are 2 or 3 games to go and they're a point behind or whatever it may be, I still believe Liverpool will be in the title race. Liverpool's recent draws are a blip in form with a long way to go in the Premier League title race, says Jamie Carragher. The Reds remain top of the table by 3 points, but have drawn their last 2 fixtures against Leicester and West Ham as Manchester City and Tottenham gain ground. Following the 1-1 draw with the Hammers on Monday Night Football, Carragher believes that recent results are just a slight dip in form and Liverpool will soon get back to winning ways. I think there was a lot of frustration there and rightly so because there were poor performances. I couldn't believe how poor Liverpool were tonight, he said. But I think there is still a bit of perspective needed in that Liverpool are still top of the league and if they go 1 or 2 points behind City or Tottenham, They are still in the race for the league. It might not be the end of the world if Liverpool went level or a point behind or something like that. It feels like there is this lead that they are trying to hang on to. Liverpool haven't had a blip yet this season. Man City had a spell where they lost 3 games in 4, Liverpool have drawn 2 on the bounce and Tottenham have lost various games at different times. It may just be a case of that. But what they haven't done is stop the talk of Liverpool feeling pressure, and that will carry on straight into the Bournemouth game. Liverpool will be there at the wire, even if there are 2 or 3 games to go and they're a point behind or whatever it may be. I still believe Liverpool will be in the title race. Liverpool shouldn't forget that they are a top side, and what we're seeing won't continue. This won't be happening every game. Liverpool will go on a run of winning 5 or 6 games at some stage before the end of the season, there's no doubt about it. They are a fantastic side, as are Tottenham and Man City, but this run that they're in may just be a little blip, but they will come back. Carragher also reiterated the importance of manager Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool attempt to win their first league title in 28 years, and believes the Champions League will have an impact on who this season's winner will be. Jurgen Klopp is massively important and he has a huge influence on what Liverpool are doing, he added. He is the big figure in the dressing room who has been in these positions before. Not in England, but in Borussia Dortmund, probably Bayern Munich or Bayer Leverkusen chasing them down, and he would have had games like that where it hasn't gone well. Obviously there is James Milner in there too, who has won a title, but it is not a dressing room full of winners yet. They are all still waiting for the first time they do something big. The questions won't go away, and the only way they can answer them is on the pitch, but they are still 3 points in front. Yes, it could have been 7, but there is still a long way to go. Liverpool will be there at the wire, even if there are 2 or 3 games to go and they're a point behind or whatever it may be. I still believe Liverpool will be in the title race. The points that they are losing now, it's too early for it to have an effect on the title race. When it gets down to the single-figure games, coming out of February and into March, then the Champions League kicks in. Whoever goes furthest in that will have a big bearing, so there is still a long way to go.